Hello everyone, JamieStarr here with the New World News Network. On this episode, I'm going to do the isidewith.com political quiz to see which candidates I side with. I've already taken this quiz, so I do know my results. Maybe my answers will be a little different, but this was a request, so I'm gladly fulfilling the request. And also, I have a ton of stuff coming up. We're going to try to do this quickly, though, because I start my online class in about 30 minutes. Sadly, I only do about a tenth of all the videos I would like to because work and class and everything else. That's also why I unfortunately don't spend a lot of time. I know people have complained that sometimes the volume is a little low. I really do apologize, but with everything going on, I just see it as being more important to try to get out as much content as I can, and that does mean a little bit lesser on the quality side of things. So let's just get right into this, and then if I have time at the end, I'll ramble off some of the other things we have to look forward to. My stance on abortion: I'm pro-life. I think you are murdering a child. I believe that life starts at conception. More and more science is supporting this. I think it's a matter of your responsibility. They give away free condoms. You know, there is the pill. There's so many other options. I mean, personally, I've pulled out with numerous girls. Numerous girls just pull out before you ejaculate, and no one's gotten pregnant. I did actually, all right, personal info, I did actually have a girlfriend who was on the pill. She was very irresponsible with taking the pill. She got pregnant, and she found out so late into it that she actually had to go to a different city to have the abortion. So that's also why I have my stance, because what would have been my firstborn child, I was complicit in murdering, and I have to live with that burden for the rest of my life. So it's a difficult one for me. I mean, I can tell you personally that as being 30 years old, I would like a family. I wish my life was at a completely different level than where it is at. I think the same way women take on dogs and call themselves dog moms to sort of pacify this need to nurture and raise something, I do the same thing with my gardening. I act the same way with my dog. It's all me trying to pacify and divert my human instincts to procreate. So that's why I have the stance I do on that. I'm pro-life across the board. Abortion shouldn't even be an option. Now, granted, you know, the girlfriend who had the abortion, again, months were going by. We had no idea that she was pregnant or anything like that. She was drinking, she was partying. The baby probably would have had issues and complications. But from where I stand now, that's a price that I should have had to pay for our irresponsibility. So you can't go back and change the past, but you can definitely try to prevent those from repeating your own personal mistakes. Do I support the legalization of same-sex marriage? This is a complicated issue. You have to understand why the government's involved in marriage in the first place, the history of marriage, and everything like that. I would say no, allow civil unions, but don't call it marriage. Again, there's a legal side to marriage, and there's the romantic, religious institution, spiritual side of two people joining together in holy matrimony and everything like that. But under Uniform Commercial Code, we're all registered corporations. They're set up in our names before we're even allowed. That's your birth certificate. Check out the documentary, Nature of the Cage. It's about straw men and, again, Uniform Commercial Code. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff about the language behind it all, too. About money being a liquid asset, the currency, as in the water, the liquid asset's current being directed by the river bank. You know, it's all hidden in the language, but very few people are aware of that. Should the government continue to fund Planned Parenthood? No, I don't know why they do in the first place. That's very important to me. I'll answer some more social questions. Should a business be able to deny service to a customer if the request conflicts with the owner's religious beliefs? A business owner should be able to deny service to whoever they want for whatever their reasons, and you're not entitled to the reasons. How about that for an answer? I mean, we're talking private business and your personal rights. People say no shirt, no shoes, no business. If someone comes in and they're unruly, businesses can ask people to leave. Again, I don't know why this is a complicated issue, but it shows how far we've gone from individual liberties. Should health insurance providers be required to offer free birth control? No. Again, this shows you how far into a eugenics mindset we are, that we think businesses should be the ones responsible for preventing us from procreating. Should gender identity laws be added to anti-discrimination laws? No. Again, this is a messy issue. I don't know why it's even gotten to the point it is. I don't think we should have, and I think we should just simplify the laws. Make them, someone else, I hear these people where they'll talk about all this race nonsense. Oh, well, this people's entitled to this, and this one's in this, and how can we ever have a free and open society? And I tell them, how do you expect racism to stop when you're continually pushing for racial specific or gender specific or, whatever specific laws, and then using them to pit one group over another or against another? You're obviously going to create a situation of resentment and jealousy. This is common sense shit that is so far beyond these simple-minded little people. Where do I stand on environmental issues? Well, it depends. Are we going to talk about real issues or not? Should the government increase environmental regulations to prevent climate change? No, because they allow their buddies to break the laws. General Electric, one of Obama's top donors, donates to him. They shut down their competitors under laws they are allowed to break. It's basically like paying off the mob for protection. Do you support the use of hydraulic fracking to extract oil and natural gases? Yes, this is an issue where there's a lot of fear-mongering around it, but from what I'm gathering lately, fracking is not as dangerous as it's made out to be. This is, again, another one of these instances where we're monopolizing things. We're using government regulations to allow some people to do things and others not. Should the U.S. expand offshore oil drilling? I don't know. I really don't think I know enough about the issue. Nationalize the energy sector. Oh, God. Alternative energy. I think people should get more personally into alternative energy. I think people should get more personally self-sufficient in general. Should they expand it? Sure, why not? Let's say it's not a problem. But again, I'm answering that one kind of out of ignorance. Should the government raise the federal minimum wage? No, they should abolish it. Is it under there? No, eliminate all federal wage standards. Should the government make cuts to public spending in order to reduce the national debt? Yes, but let's see what the other stances are. Yes, and eliminate the federal agencies that are unconstitutional. Damn right. Should all welfare recipients be tested for drugs? No, this is a waste. Regardless, yeah, we should end all social welfare programs. Let's send it all to private business and charities. I don't know why the government's doing this. And I think it contributes to society where, I had someone tell me, oh, well, my uncle is hurt and disability is the only thing that's helping him, this, and that, and, everything. And my response to the person was, well, maybe if the government wasn't taking so much of your money, you and 3 family members could just pool your money together and give that money directly to your uncle. This is what this causes. This causes a mentality where families won't even help one another because they're already being robbed blind by the government, and they just say, oh, we'll ask the government for help. I mean, I think society would be more cohesive if instead of funneling the money through the government into these programs, if we just did it directly, people would you'd have a reason to appreciate each other more. Instead, you have it going through the government, and people find the government as a necessary evil in the world. Should there be more restrictions on the current things to buy a gun? No. No. We'll just leave it at that. Are you in favor of decriminalizing drug use? Yes. Again, the war on drugs is... Oh, yes, and retroactively reduce sentences for already serving time. Do I support affirmative action programs? No. Why would I? Let's see what the other stances are. No, and minority groups should not receive any favorable treatment. No one should receive favorable treatment because, like I said, it will create jealousy and resentment. Where do I stand on healthcare issues? Do you support the patient protection and affordable healthcare stance? Nope. Do I support the legalization of marijuana? I think it should all be decriminalized. Yes, and immediately release anyone. Should the federal government increase funding of healthcare for low-income individuals? If Medicaid is through the government, I think I currently have Medicaid, but no, again, I think it should. I don't want the federal government being the one to provide any of this stuff. Where do I stand on electoral issues? Should photo ID be required to vote? Well, you should have to prove you're a citizen, I think. So yeah, because otherwise you end up with them importing groups as voter blocks. Like, I don't know why people don't see the Democrats have done this. They pander to a group, and then when they've alienated that group, sort of like the Orlando issue where, you know, all the LGBT community saw that the Muslims rank higher than them in the oppression Olympics, so they alienate them, so now they need to bring in tons of Muslims to vote for Democrat because they've alienated everyone else. Should the presidential debates include candidates with less than 15% in national polls? I would say no, only, well, yes, and we should reform the electoral process to allow more. There should be more attention to the third-party candidates. This is kind of like a chicken or the egg thing. Like, why are they not having as much attention? Is it because we're not giving them enough attention? But I also think you can't spend too much time on people that don't have a chance, because then you're not going to fully be able to flesh out the other candidates' positions. Do I support increased taxing for the rich in order to reduce interest rates for student loans? No, not at all. Yes, transfer it all to private. Do I support Common Core? No, not at all. Education should be handled by state and local level. Where do I stand on foreign policy issues? Should the government decrease military spending? It depends. The state of the world is very unstable, and so I'm going to say no. But I don't think we should be invading all these places. No, we should eliminate any opportunity for terrorists to enter the country, of course. Should foreign terrorist suspects be given constitutional rights? No, they're not an American. It's the American Constitution. Should the military be allowed to use enhanced interrogation techniques such as waterboarding to gain information from suspects? I think we should follow the Geneva Convention. But again, you're talking about going against a group where they don't care about taking their own lives to achieve their end means, so it's a very complicated issue. But I think we have methods that, you know, they have truth serums and stuff like that, so I think there's methods you could do that could work and could be more humane. Should every 18-year-old citizen be required to prove at least 1 year military service? No. No, service should be a choice instead of an obligation. Should the U.S. formally declare war on ISIS? Yes, I thought we did. I mean, what is this then? What the fuck's going on if we didn't declare war? Should police officers be required to wear body cameras? I can see the argument for this, but no, although I think there's some officers, the good ones, that might want to do it because it will then help their stance if there ever is a questionable issue. Should convicted felons have the right to vote? Yeah, why not? Should prisons ban the use of solitary confinement for juveniles? Yes, I mean, some would say solitary confinement is psychologically damning to undeveloped minds. Where do I stand on immigration issues? Should Muslim immigrants be banned from entering the country until government approves its ability to screen out potential terrorists? Yes, of course. Should illegal immigrants have access to government-subsidized health care? No. Why? I mean, again, you have a social contract of benefits set up for Americans, paid for by Americans, and then you have other people just coming here wanting to take advantage of these things that we've all paid into? What the hell? I mean, this is like if you set up a savings account and there's like an interest, you're gaining money on the interest, and someone else comes along and just says, oh, well, I'm just going to take a little off the top. I mean, it should be looked at as stealing. Should illegal immigrants be offered in-state tuition rates at public colleges within their residing residence? No. Again, why do people from elsewhere in the world get the benefits of being an American citizen? This doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. This is America spreading its legs and becoming a whore for the world to just take advantage of. We are being raped and pillaged in a very subversive sort of way through these methods. Should the federal government require children to be vaccinated? No, not at all. No, fund a public ad campaign about the risks and benefits instead. I did a video on vaccines. I recommend if anyone hasn't seen it or questions the issues, check out that video. It's one of my earliest videos because I'll just leave it at this. Vaccines have just as many side effects as every other medication. And you hear these lists. Oh, if you take, Thiazanta, you might have your leg fall off. You might have headaches, nausea, diarrhea, and increased breathing problems. Vaccines have all the same risks that any other medications may have, and more because of the adjuvants that are put in them. Definitely look into that. Should producers be required to label genetically engineered foods? Yeah, of course. I want to know if I'm buying an apple that I'm eating an apple. I would prefer to ban genetically modified foods. I don't think we should be patenting the biosphere, basically. Should the federal government fund space travel? No, because then you're not going to know if what you're really hearing is the truth or not. Governments have agendas, and too often do they think that the truth is a threat to national security and their monopoly on power and information. If the elections were held today, which candidate would I vote for? Well, I probably would vote for Rand Paul, but he's not running anymore, so we'll say Donald Trump. So we know you're human. When making a purchase, how often do I search for coupons, deals, and special offers? Very frequently. I am cheap as fuck. Do you agree or disagree? Price is the most important factor when making a purchase. No, I like to read reviews. I'll pay a little bit more if I feel like I'm getting a better product, but I would somewhat agree. I go to, supermarkets and go to the day-old shit, the markdown rack where the produce is fresh that day, and I might just bring it home and chop it up and freeze it myself because I get it that much cheaper. So, let's see my results. We're now matching you to your candidates. All right, well, now I'll babble about the upcoming stuff. Yesterday, I did an interview with a guy from the UK. I'm hoping he'll be a full-time contributor and that this can really expand into a network. Hopefully next week, I am also going to have a African-American male from America who lives in the South, I believe, and he was basically disowned from his family for dating a white woman. So blacks can't be racist, but they're disowning their family members for their non-racist attitudes and behaviors. And I want to extend this offer to any of my African-American viewers. If you have a similar story, or if you can testify to the fact that there are these attitudes amongst the black community and how bad and divisive and everything they are, the only way we can stop Black Lives Matter and these other narratives that are going out in society is by giving the people like you bigger and louder platforms. So, I'm extending my channel out to any and everyone with a story to tell that is similar to this, because the only way we can stop this is by showing that the attitudes being put forth are more harmful than beneficial. So, I would love to have you on my channel. I would love to interview you. I would love to talk to you, because I know there's a vast amount of people that anytime I open my mouth, it's just dismissed as me exercising my privilege. So, I want you to speak. I'll just ask a few questions, and I'll give you the floor to say whatever you want, hear your side of the story, and put forth the solutions that you think would be best. So hopefully I'll have that up. I'm supposed to do it Sunday evening, and I'm extremely looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an amazing video. I'm also going to do a video, hopefully tonight, on the Purge movie, because I watched it last night, and I was surprised, because if you look at the archetypes and the narratives being put forth in that manner, even the fact that the military contractors were wearing white power stickers on them and everything like that. I'd seen these videos about, it being a predictive programming thing for the martial law and everything like that, but it's over the fucking top with it. Over the top. So I'm gonna do a video on the Purge movie, and hopefully I'll be able to have a good chunk of time to get into a bunch of these. So, similar results to what I got before. I'm siding with Donald Trump on foreign policy, immigration, environmental, education, domestic policy, science, and electoral issues. Gary Johnson, I'm right behind. Gary Johnson seems all right. Jill Stein I'm with on science and criminal issues. Hillary Clinton on foreign policy and criminal issues. Hillary Clinton's a lying fucking sack of shit, though. You can't believe anything out that woman's mouth. I don't think anyone sides with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton sides with Hillary Clinton. Bill Clinton doesn't even side with Hillary Clinton. So you can't trust that bitch at all whatsoever, and we all know it at this point. It is amazing. It is amazing. I'll tell you what. You want to talk about the Constitution and being able to overthrow tyrannical leaders? Bam. Bam! If there ever was a person, we can talk about Obama being bad, but if there ever was a person to get into office that we should need to overthrow in any means possible to get to fucking save the country, that's it. She's it right there. We are going to hell in a handbag with her getting elected, and I'm sure they're going to. She will pull out any trick in the book to get to that seat, because she's had her eye on it from the very beginning. And I stand with Bernie Sanders on criminal issues. So, there you go. I'm also going to do I'll do the poll for the, ENTJ, the personality quiz or whatever. I've already done that one. I end up as commander, so when you hear me say I'm going to run for supreme commander and dictator, which is just the kind of phrase I use for president nowadays, because that's basically the position you're running for. If anyone has seen the latest, executive order Obama signed on July 1st. I'll probably do a video on that as well. You're talking Supreme Commander and Dictator stuff. So here are my results. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Check the links below. Everyone, have a good one. And again, like you heard my offer to African Americans with a mindset that is opposed to the Black Lives Matter one, even if you're not one personally, but you know someone who will be willing to speak out. If you want, we can just do an audio interview, use a fake name, keep your face out of it. I don't want to cause problems in your personal life by putting you out there like that, because believe me, I know you'll be called a coon, you'll be called an Uncle Tom, they'll look at you like a traitor, and it's nonsense. It is nonsensical. But the offer is out there, so please hit me up on it. And also for people who, love my channel and are always telling me don't worry about the low amount of views, fucking share my videos. That would be a help. Share them, put them out there. Let's help build this platform, and let's amplify voices of reason. That's how we'll win. There's an ideological war going on, and it's got the power, the institutions, the government on its side. So the only way we can win this is to make our ideas, more palatable, more enticing, and frankly, we're the nicer side. We're very welcoming. We're welcome to debate. You attract more bees with honey than vinegar, and like I said, the Democrats will just alienate people left and right, and then when they're done with you, they'll cast you to the side and pick a new group to pander to. So, have a good one, everyone.